And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats, kids, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you. I wasn't sure this was going to work. I had some computer problems earlier, and when you pay $4,000 for a laptop for the i13, all the bells and whistles, as much RAM as they can fit in it, you don't expect problems. But yet they still seem to find me almost each and every time. Anyway, here at the podcast is your home for rational crypto news, horror news, World of Warship news, and observations, leaving emotion at the door and talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We are not offering financial advice. We are telling you what we do, and that is all. I'm your host, Scott, pragmatic investor, who has won and lost fortunes. And joining me, as always, is the greatest producer of all time, the one, the only, the tank-topped Bella. How you doing tonight, Bella?
You know what? It's a warm day, so yes, there's a tank top in play.
Oh, I didn't hit your round of applause. Round of applause. Give it up for the Bella. Yeah, it's like almost 90 here. It was almost 90 here in Des Moines. It's beautiful. It is just beautiful. And the studio here is still sitting right around 65 degrees. So whatever the vents and all that we kicked in there, beautiful. Keeping this thing nice and cold. So. Yeah, I'm sorry about the lateness tonight, guys. It was a little bit, we just computer issues. You know, what are you going to do? So, but Bell stuck with me and we got it worked out. I did the ONOFF switch and it seems to have cleared up. Whatever little weird bit of code was in there, it seems to have gotten cleared out. So there you go. So anyway, we were going to talk horror tonight, but because we like horror. And the reason that we're doing it, and I'm going to monologue on the whole thing about what we're doing here. Myself, Bell, the show, all of that stuff. We've spent 6+ years reaching out to the world, and we haven't gotten much response because in this world, in this crypto world, if you are not generating revenue for whomever you want to be talking about, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to back you up, support you, answer your emails, nothing, virtually nothing. So our crypto content is going to become much more limited, believe it or not, to the communities and the protocols that have supported us. It's just, you hit it and you hit this wall, and enough's enough. Everybody's out here happy to use you. They're happy to use you for your time, your effort, your show, whatever it is, as long as they can get some visibility or whatever on their project. But they're never actually they don't actually care. It could be anybody, and once they're done with you, there's very little loyalty in this space. They're going to move on to the bigger, better deal. I'll tell you what, man. The one of the things that founded it was Dragon. You remember that, Bell? Remember? Yeah. And we completely supported them all the way through the run, from idea to delivery and yeah. And as soon as D-Day came, they shopped around on us. We were looking for the biggest channel so that we can do our drop and our info and all that other stuff. And I'm not going to lie, it hurt. It did hurt. And I've never even looked at their game. For all I know, it's wonderful, but I can't keep doing this is what I'm saying. I cannot keep unzipping my fly for every single team that comes along here, and as soon as we get them to the finish line, they kind of just disappear on us, like Patrick and Henry. Have you heard from them, Bell? Have you heard from Patrick or Henry? No. Remember the lead up? How many times did we put them on? 4 times. I didn't even want to anymore. But we were so, nope, you got to put them on. So we continue. What?
There's one project in particular that has always had our back, and we've got theirs too as a result.
Astrovault,
Exactly.
those guys right there, man. The team that has never. Bell, pull that mic closer to your mouth. Much closer. Get right on it. Orally gratify it. Say exactly what you just said.
There
we go. Thank you. That's what we've been kind of missing. Bell's been doing this number. And that's fine. It'll still work, but it does not give you that radio broadcast quality that we've always had up here. So you can lower it down and then tweak it up a little bit so everybody can still see your pretty face, and then just kind of move it up a little bit so it's got a better angle so that you're talking right into it. But Yeah, guys. So I'm just letting you know. Believe it or not, one of the communities of all communities. I never thought I would say this, but one of the communities that is, believe it or not, supported this channel, not supported, hated, absolutely hated, hostile, everything, was the AMP community. So I'm going to keep kicking out AMP videos. You know why, Belle? Because they get watched. And
because it's fun for you.
because it's fun for me, and because they get watched, and because we're integrating them into Sigya. So yeah, I'm gonna continue to kick out those things. I've never made a nickel on them. All I've gotten over there was hostility, but people watch, and that's kind of the thing. I mean, that's literally a loyalty thing, or the very least that you would expect when you take your time and you kick out videos. And yeah. Look, man, I know we're not the A-listers. I get all that, but we've done our time. We have a good show. We put on a good production, and the least you could do is watch the fucking video. If we do a video about you and we call you out on Twitter and yeah, the least, all we're asking to do is watch the goddamn thing. I'm not asking you for money, but apparently that's too much. Now, go ahead, Belle, because then I'm going to segue into what I mean.
Okay, well, again, you're talking about loyalty. I mean, Astrovault's always had our back. I mean, for Pete's sake, Eric and Ethan have taken us out for dinner, and I am not cheap to feed. I might feed this big, but
they actually paid a couple times. That was pretty awesome. Aside from that, right there, nobody buys me meals, man. I can't remember the last time. Astrovault was the last time, but. You know what? Did you not watch the screen? I literally said aside from that right there. Yeah, so we want to stick with the people who have been with us. It gives me a better feeling. It feels like my time is spent better. So we're just going to do that. If we talk it to death and you're not interested, I'm sorry, but we're going to kind of stay in our wheelhouse. It's just more pleasant for me. We were going to go live today, and I was talking about. I was like, there is nothing that I want to talk about out here. There is literally nothing that has me energized or is that I have some really, really specific insight on that everybody else doesn't have, that Twitter isn't feeding on, that the teams aren't either doing or denying. It's either one of those two things. They're either doing it or denying it. I'd rather just stay in my wheelhouse, man. I'd rather stay with the people that support us. I don't care. I'll do a goddamn AMP video every day. I'll do Astrovault videos every day. I'll do tutorials every day. I will kick that stuff out because when push comes to shove, they tune in. They supported us, and that's what kind of matters anymore. Now, the weird thing, and by the way, we're branching out, talking horror. We've been doing those horror movies on Saturday night. Red Eye Bear was in and watched the whole thing with us. It was horrible. We'll talk about the movie here after this one, but I make World of Warship videos. It's a game that I'm very, very passionate about. And you need to be, to do this, you need to be passionate about whatever it is that you're doing. But I'm sitting on about, over the last 48 hours, about 3,000 views on World of Warship videos. Approximately 3,000 views, and I really just got kicking off on that channel. I can't remember the last time Bella and I had 3,000 views on anything that we did over here. With any guests that we hosted, we couldn't even get that many with giveaways when we were still giving away $5,000 on a stream. We still couldn't get 100 people here. So it's just, the space is starting to grate on me. We've been doing this nonstop for 6 years, and I think for us, it's fine. We can kind of move along. So we'll be doing the crypto streams, with the pure crypto streams. We're going to do those on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and that's about it. Mondays are going to be either worship streams or horror streams or whatever else that we're going to be doing, like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday if we go live. But the crypto streams are Tuesdays and Thursdays, and basically that's it. I can't keep repeating myself and saying the same thing in beautiful and unique ways over and over and over. I would just rather do worship streams. I would rather play video games and talk about them as we're doing it and all that stuff. Now, the idea that I have here, and I kind of bounce this off from Astrovault, by the way, they said sit down on the idea for about 2 months. They're still in complete total build mode right now for the new stuff that they have coming up. And Eric's dying to announce, but he can't announce yet. So he said, hold off.
No, he got told by Ethan, no.
There you go. So yeah, he can't announce yet, but he said hold off on that for 2 months until we do our new thing. And believe it or not, I'm gonna find a way to get people onboarded via horror, via video game streams, via all of this other stuff. Now, it's a tough row to hoe. It is an incredibly tough row to hoe going out there and chasing that. But when you're getting 3,000 and 4,000 views on one of your videos, it's very, very easy to start trying to nitpick and making little offers. Now, the thing I was thinking of, Bell, first person to comment, do whatever up here, we're going to give you $25 worth of the Astrovault token. I will make a very, very special video for you to show you step by step what you have to do to set up a wallet, to get the token on there, and for you to send me that address, and I will send you money. And once you get that money, $25, free and clear. I don't want it back. This is DeFi. Once I send it, I can't. And then come over here and check out Astrovault. That is a possibility. Now, are we going to get a lot of people doing that? Probably not. Are we going to turn some people off? Probably. But if we don't do anything, then there's no real point to this. All right, because this market, DeFi, all of the personnel and retail, it's just getting smaller and smaller. A lot of people that used to be a part of this family right here, we haven't heard from them forever. I mean, they're just gone. So we got to do something. If we don't do anything, then honestly, what's the point? You know, it's just going to continue to go down, bleed down. Yeah. So we're going to get really, really hyper-focused on what we hyper-focus on what we're passionate about and what we do. And then we're going to use every other damn thing out here to onboard. Now, building communities is a bitch. I know it's a bitch. I got to ask anybody that's actually out here that's watching right now, if we have anybody watching, how many of you watch my World of Warship videos? I know I'm not expecting anybody to. I'm really not, because if you're not into the game, you're not into the game. Bell, well, I know Bell watches them. If you're not into it, you're not into it, and I get that. But how many of you just missed the melodious sound of my voice and so much that you have actually subscribed over to my World of Warships channel, and you may or may not click a video? That's what I mean. So I don't expect crypto people to come over there, but I have to go over there and try to get gamer people over here. It is a pain in the ass. Twitter ain't doing it, guys. All right, just the same old Twitter marketing shit. It ain't doing it. If it was, this would be a wildly different market right now, and it simply isn't. So if we don't try something else, then what's the point? I guess that's it. What's the point? Now, we do have a couple of things here. We have one big ace in our hole, and that's that one right back there. That's Sigia. Sigia release is very, very imminent, and here's what's going to happen. Do we have less than 10 people? If we have less than 10, I'll say, oh, we got nobody. Perfect.
Yeah,
all right.
We've got less than 10.
Okay. So here's what's going to happen, guys. Sigia is going to launch. Now, we have a lot of partnerships lined up with this, and we're going to be onboarding a lot of users immediately on launch, because everybody that we gave free Jackal storage to is going to come over. They're automatically going to get Sigia, and they're going to get to use it for free. So the same 50 gigabytes that I'm providing them over there on Jackal Vault, they're going to get over there on Sigia, and that's going to be fine. So here's what's going to be happening, and I got a hunch it's the only thing. This is our only way to really onboard Web3 people, and this is it. We're taking one shot at it. After that, none of our marketing effort, nothing is going to be focused on Web3. It's a black hole, man. It is an absolute waste of time to try to market to Web3. People over here don't give a fuck about products. They don't use them. Even if they come out, they don't want them. They don't use them. They don't care. They're incredibly jaded on anything that might come out, jaded, suspicious, and all of that. So we are purely marketing. Our only step into Web3 is, hey, look at this. We have an app. Do you like to download it, scan the QR code, and off you go? That's going to be it. But we are also going to be forced, based on our current projections, we're going to be forced to scale day one. I mean, day one, we're going to be forced to scale. That's servers. That's we have to onboard a new human. Yeah. So, and I'm out of money. That's it. I mean, you don't get funding for apps, buddy. Nobody's going to fund apps unless you really know a guy who knows a guy, and we don't. So I'm basically broke now. We've put everything into this. All of my eggs are in this basket. So we're going to be forced to scale. Now, two things can happen here. We will have users. We will have retention. We will have all of those. When you see the app, it's literally on my phone right now. When you see it, it's as fire and forget as you can, as anything can be. So I believe that we're going to have our early retention is going to be really, really good. After that, we have to wait and see. But being forced to scale, two things are going to have to happen here. Either I am going to have to put my house up, go to a bank and get cash, which could be a way, or we're going to have to launch a token. Now, we can't launch a token on day one. We cannot launch a token on day one because the purpose of a token over here, what we're doing, any kind of utility, the purpose of a token is to borrow from the future to finance the present. Now, we have a need of financing, and the financing that we need is so that we can scale out. We need to hire another person. We're going to need additional servers, hardware, another lawyer, all that other good stuff. So we're going to have to borrow from the future to get that. But we cannot in good conscience simply launch a token based on wishes and whims and hoping for the best. What L1s can do that we can't do is sell hope. We can't do that because we're monetized on day one. Therefore, we have to justify everything. And that means we have to show user data. We have to show transactions. We have to show retention. We have to show product market fit. We have to show income versus expenditures. That's what we have to do. That's what apps have to do. That's why nobody's building them, because we have to show all of these things. We bootstrapped the whole damn thing. Cost me a whole bunch of money to do it, but we had to bootstrap everything to get it to the launch day. And we can't launch a token before we get there because who would buy it? Why would you even touch something like this until you actually saw solid business data? So it'll be 2 to 3 months before we can even launch the token because we need those 2 or 3 months so that we can show growth, so that we can show retention, so that we can show income, so that we can decide how much of a raise we're going to need from that token. And the most important thing, the thing that never, ever gets talked about out here in Web3, but I consider it the most critical thing, when we will be able to pay you back, because eventually you catch up to the future. Now, 30% of all app revenue, and our profit margins are sick. It's wonderful to be a reseller. 30% of all app revenue goes back to the token. That is a consistent level of buy pressure that's going to be put on that. It helps us. It helps the token. It helps Sigia. It helps Astrovault. It helps Jackal. It helps everybody. But we have to maintain that growth so that I can say after a 90-day window, all right, these are our projections for where we're going to be 2 years from now. Now, you know that that's wishful thinking, but you do a long term, a medium term, and a short term. So our long term, looking at that and say, okay, this is where we're going to be 2 years from now. This is how much revenue we need to borrow to get there. And this is how we're going to pay it back. That is what the token is. Now, I could also simply put up my house, go to a bank, take out a loan, very low interest because the house is paid for, a very low interest loan, and not launch a token at all. We can do that as well. Then it's all on me. Anything goes wrong, I lose the house, I lose the app, I lose everything. We could go that way. Or we could attempt to launch a token, borrow it from the general community, and then pay them back with interest. So either the bank is going to be collecting the interest, or anybody who happens to be in here is going to be collecting the interest. That's what you're doing. Now, we're not allowed to use the word investing. I'm just saying anybody who's coming along on this ride with me. So I have enough cash still set aside because I'll be the one funding the initial portion of that pool. It's going to be about $250,000, and then $250,000 on the other side of it. So it's going to be a large pool. We have to do that because I want the slippage to be absolutely as low as we could possibly get it. That pool is going to be on Astrovault. We haven't decided if it's going to be on. It won't be on Archway, Val. It's not going to be on Archway. It'll be on Nibiru. It'll be on Neutron. We'll leave that up to our biz dev guy to kind of decide that one. But again, the whole idea here is that by the time we catch up to the future, if the token, whatever the price is, let's say it's a penny, we need to make sure that it is, by the time we catch up to the future, that it is at least 1.3 by the time we get there. So based on our projections, we're saying in 2 years, we should have about a 30% growth on this entire thing, or 30% year over year. That would be wonderful. But by the time we catch up to the future, that now that token that was at 1 cent is at 1.6. I'm not anticipating a lot of sniping on this. There will be. Everything out here gets sniped. Everything out here gets scalped. But with the level of buy pressure that we're going to be able to put on the token through consumers, and by the way, that revenue that we need also goes to marketing. You know how expensive it is to market. We've had this discussion for a long time, Bell. What's the I'm still calling it the Siggy is privacy in your pocket. Nike is just do it. Coke is the real thing. Reebok is pump it up. Was that what it was, Bell? Do you remember?
Yeah.
It was pump it up. Siggy is privacy in your pocket. That's it. You got to have a catchphrase. Nobody out here uses them. I consider that just incredibly insulting to every single marketing element that exists amongst mankind. That every major product out there has a little catchphrase, but for some reason in Web3 we're too good that we don't need catchphrases. You want to know why you're having trouble onboarding people? Because nobody knows what the fuck you are. Because they can't sum it up really, really simply. You have got to least common denominator this shit. Siggy is privacy in your pocket. That's it. But we're going to have to market. That means we have to take out ads. That means we have to do all of these things. We have to go to events, not crypto events. We're not going to crypto events. That's a waste of fucking time. But we have to go to privacy conventions. We have to go to political conventions. We have to go places where people would value privacy because we're niche hunting. All right, that's what we're doing. We're truffle hunting out here. So we have to go, and when we go, we have to make sure that we got an ROI on every one of our spends. We can't simply piss the money away because we can't print more. All right, this is what we got. So we have to be very, very smart with every single spend that we do out here. We're literally under the boot on your neck that crypto puts on people. But if you actually care, it's an iron boot right on the back of your neck because you can't just piss it all away and then, post your good I'm going bye-bye on Twitter and then move it over to a new project. We can't do that. So we have to be very, very cognizant of every single spend. It's going to cost us this much to get here. We anticipate getting this many consumers, and this is how long it's going to take for us to hit delta neutral on that spend. We have to do that for fucking everything. It's going to be maddening. But I'm still very, very excited about this. So after it actually comes up, Crypto Bros may or may not come online. Because now it's a token. They'll never use it. They will never use the product. Doesn't matter how easy we make it. But a lot of them are going to be very, very happy to invest in it. And that's the entire Web3. That's the entire Web3 mind space out here. So we're not really going to be a part of that, but we're going to try to get consumers as we can. And if they will help finance our growth, great. If when we're getting close to it, if it's not going to work out, we're not going to get that finance. That token's going to die on the vine. We're going to get $8,000, and now I have to be responsible for that. Then we're just not going to. I will find the money somewhere else. I will find it through traditional means, and I'll just pay back the bank. So one of those two things is going to happen right there, and we will know as we get closer to it. So anyway, I wanted to get all that out, guys. I just wanted you to know why we're doing what we're doing. We are branching out into new locations. We're doing gaming. We're doing horror. We're doing Ren fairs. We're branching out into all these different locations because we're chasing consumers. Because we need non-crypto people that will simply scan the QR code, pick it up the app, say, yep, this is pretty cool. I'll give you $1.99 a month for it, and that's that. Those are the people that we're looking for, and we are not going to find them in Web3. If you guys know a better way or a community or somebody that might be interested in this, please let me know. I'm not asking you to even help us shake hands. Just tell me who it is, man. I'll go out and find it on myself. But for the most part, the people that we have reached out, all of these are traditional businesses that happen to exist a little bit in Web3, but they're pushing into Web2. Those are the people that we need to be a part of. Those are the people that we're spending, like Micah and Opolis and all that stuff. Those are the people that we're spending time with, because those are the people who are going to be using our app. And eventually, we spent so many years talking about other people's stuff that it's time to just focus on our stuff. So anyway, Belle, do you got anything to add to that, or would you like to do some questions, comments, concerns? We got 7 fucking viewers. That means we have 5, because 2 of them are us, Belle. So if anybody's got anything, go ahead and put it out. If not, I'm going to queue up. I'm going to leave you big screen. I'm going to queue up another song, and then we will talk about anything else about crypto. So go ahead, Belle.
All right. So G Torres was just saying regarding the World of Warships channel, I've watched a tiny portion of one.
Did you like it? I mean, that's what I want to know. Did you like it?
Yeah.
It ain't for everybody, man.
If it's the one with over 2,000, almost 3,000 views, yeah. I bet that's the one.
I don't know, but yes, it had over 2,000 views, and I got that in about 24 hours. So to say that my time could be better spent somewhere else is a little bit of... All right, sorry, I was queuing up a song. To say that my time could be better spent, it would be a little bit of an understatement, man. It's very, very easy. Not easy. You got to be good at a game too, or you have to have, you got to have something going for you, whether it be entertaining, information, whatever. I'm pulling this thing up again. I really tricked this tonight. Okay, I'm on the right frame. So yeah, you got to have a little something to make it interesting for the viewers, man. Because even on game videos, man, I value people's time. It's very, very important. If you're spending 20 minutes with me, I want to make sure that you get value out of that 20 minutes, however it happens to be. If I make you laugh, great. If I dazzle you with my brilliance, great. But it's important that you give time value of time. That's I'm just going to go with that. All right, go ahead, Belle. If there's nothing else, we'll just play the song.
Deep House Nation enjoyed the political spill show, just catching up on shows. And then Deep House Nation asks, are we through with the tariff mess for at least a few months?
90 days at least. We got bored with politics a long, long time ago. Me and Belle did, because we've been in and if you want to talk about a well of darkness, man, do political commentary. Fuck you. Everybody, nobody's happy. And I'm past it. I'm just past that point in my life. Are we done with the tariff thing for at least 90 days? If nothing else, it gives 90 days for all of the pundits and talking heads to dream up what all this really means, as if they really know. So it's going to calm down. Obviously, the Dow enjoyed it. Bitcoin did not. And all the Bitcoin goes down just a little bit, man. All the alts get absolutely flattened. It's just, it's the nature of it. So are we done with it? Probably for a little bit. But you guys got to remember, man, the media has nothing else to do right now except make Trump look bad. That's it. I mean, I've never seen it this bad. This is really getting, what would you call it, Belle? Not even a mania. I know the Trump derangement syndrome and all that shit, but I've never seen a group of people root so hard against their own country before. I mean, I've never seen this. Cloward and Piven is an absolute fact, man, and they nailed it. Woodrow Wilson's introduction, is dipping the toe in the socialistic world, man. It brought it over here with a vengeance. And these fucking brown shirts that are coming up now, Antifa starting to make the news again. They're beating the hell out of people out there in Seattle. It's going to be another summer of love. It's coming up there because they got nothing else to do. They've tried it. We're going to impeach. We're going to do, yeah. They were able to hamstring him with Russian collusion. That was the first term. You remember his first term, Bell? He couldn't do fuck all for the first 2 years. It was Russian collusion. Even after it was debunked, even after they came out and said, yeah, none of this shit happened, people still believe it, because if you say the lie often enough, the lie becomes the truth, and there it is. He's in bed with Putin. And I'm sure that even at this, somebody's watching this, somebody's on the stream, still believes it. They say, oh, yeah, he was. Even though everybody came out, oh, now the Steele dossier was horseshit. Hillary Clinton made all that shit up. All right, everybody made all that up. He was found not guilty on anything. In fact, it wasn't even close. But people still believe it. They're still out there. Oh, no, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what the facts are. I believe it, and that's all that matters. I just don't want to swim in those waters anymore. I mean, I'd rather talk about Terrifier. I'd rather talk about Friday the 13th, Bell. I'd rather talk about which battleship is better in a video game. I mean, there's virtually anything I would rather talk about than getting back into that shit again. If we are wildly unsuccessful with marketing Sigya, we just can't get it out there, I will roll back into politics because I can pack the room. I have very good takes on all these things. I know how to get the message out. I know how to market myself. I know what to do. I know how to play that tune. So if we are unsuccessful with everything else that we're doing, then we'll go back to politics. We'll go back to politics so that I get a lot of viewers, and you see that sign behind me. That's all it is, man. Product placement, baby. Anyway. If there's anything else, I'll get any one other one, and then we're going to go ahead and play a song because I need to calm down.
G. Torres, what's the next step for Sigya? Any dates, time frames?
We're about 6.5 weeks behind. We should have launched. We wanted to launch March 31st. We didn't make it. Now, each individual element.
It wasn't our fault.
No, each individual element of this functions, but we cannot do a half-ass rollout. All right, we only got one shot at this. You only got one shot to roll out. And if we release the desktop version, the Android version, but not the iOS version, we're fucked. We're fucked from day one, immediately. We have just turned off 80% of our potential customer base, and they will not come back. You got one shot, man. You get one shot to get these people. We are not a crypto. We are not a science fair. We're none of those things. We are a binary application. It fucking works or it doesn't fucking work. It works well or it's shit. That's the way consumers are going to be looking at this thing. So we only got one shot to get them, baby. And that one shot means anybody we lose now because we didn't launch correctly, we will never get back. And honestly, man, look, it's slim pickings for us right now. We expect to launch with 300 to 400 consumers day one. That's about it. I mean, that's it. That's all we're going to have and a lot of those are imported people. But after we get that, after we get some testimonials, but it is imperative that everybody can access it on whatever fucking device that they want. So I don't know if you could tell by my tone where we're held up at. But that is the part that we're held up on. But we're about 6 weeks late. Anyway, you know what? If there's any other questions, Bell, go ahead and table them. I want to play a song. I need to calm down here. So, guys, if you could, this seems like a very appropriate song for right now. So if you could, please stick around. We'll be right back here on the podcast on the KPOD. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you. I saw I looked at the comments, but I know I'm not supposed to, but I did anyway. This seems like it's not what I wanted to talk about tonight, but I'll go ahead and dash a little reality back on this because sometimes it just helps. Bitcoin is down today and stocks up a lot. That's different. I guess crypto, what is that? Front ran the stocks. Yeah, man, typically crypto always has always been front running, and there's very little correlation anymore between the Dow Jones Industrial Average and Bitcoin. It used to be somewhat correlated, but now because Bitcoin can trade over the weekend, And let's be real, that's what it was. Even with the Dow futures up 1,000, you saw the spike, right? Just before market open, you saw that big-ass spike. Bitcoin shot up to 106. I don't know what it's at right now, Bell. What is it? Look up Bitcoin. It's about 102-ish, 103, something like that. But the correlation between those two are more or less washed up. And let me, I'll give you
102,913.
102,930. Let's call it 103. It's easy enough. You people have been trading in this market on a really, really dangerous assumption and a whole lot of misunderstanding. Now, we had talked about this long before all of these ETFs and all this shit came into place. We explained it that now you have just effectively became TradFi with what's coming in. TradFi has no fucking loyalty. For some reason, this continues to be lost on everybody. If you were going to tweet anything, that would be my tweet. TradFi has no loyalty. They're loyal to the dollar. They're loyal to the percentage. And with the volume that they deal with, it doesn't take much to get a corner office. 1%, 2%, 3%, and boom, you got the corner office because we're talking about a huge volume. Bitcoin to TradFi is just a plaything. They're not in it for the ethos. They don't fucking self-custody. They don't do any of the things that crypto was originally intended for, that blockchain technology was originally intended for. TradFi doesn't care. But for some reason, we still seem to think that because you got a BlackRock, Grayscale, and all these other ETFs coming on board, that suddenly the ethos is going to grow. The ethos actually shrank. It got crushed. It is gone. And the lessons that people learn from this are really, really obvious. They're scared. We still don't know what's going on. There's still trade wars. There's still wars. India and Pakistan settled it down. But that's not saying that won't flare up. But with all of those things, man, look, they're not in it for this. We as a group, as actual DeFi people, can't even decide what the hell Bitcoin is. Is it a currency or is it a store of wealth? We can't even make up our minds between that. We've written treaties. We argue over this. Paragraphs, books have been written on that. We can't even decide if it's a currency or a store of wealth. And if it's a store of wealth, you have to base everything on the assumption that people will want it. There are lots of store of wealth. And your traditional outside of the crypto people, they're going to stay with gold. They're going to stay with silver. They're going to stay with gold as their store of wealth. Paper gold, but it's still gold to them. They're going to speculate over in silver and copper because they have manufacturing elements to it, and it's a little bit easier to predict it. But that's it. That's what they're going to do. Now, they'll throw a flyer into Bitcoin because it's very easy now, ETFs and all that stuff. But they're not in it for the ethos, babe. And we can't even decide as a group what the goddamn ethos is. There's a reason that I'm in utility and only in utility. I will take the variance. I will take the 10%. Jackal's down like 11% today. No fucking reason for it at all. But Jackal's still down like 11% today. I will take that variance and I will take those swings because I actually know what the product is and I know what makes it go up. Can you say the same about Bitcoin? What makes Bitcoin go up, Bell?
More people buying it than selling it.
Boom. Look at there. You can have a sucker. You can have a lollipop if you'd like a lollipop. That's a perfect answer. More people buying it than selling it. That's it. That is what makes it go up. If it was actually a currency, meaning that you could use this to pay debt, that you could use this to pay bills, that you could use it to buy goods and services. If it was actually a currency and met the criteria of a currency, which it does, but we can't define it as that because what is everybody going to tell you? Never spend your Bitcoins. Go and do $1 million. Don't you worry. It'll be there any day now. Buy it. Forget about it. That's it. That's the message for that. You just gave up everything about Bitcoin and you completely relegated it over to TradFi and the way that they see markets. They see them as playthings, dude. That's it. Dow was up about 1,000. I didn't see it close. I don't know where it was. Last time I looked at it, it was up about 1,200 points. But Bitcoin is down. Bitcoin went from 106 to 103. Not a huge swing, but it was in fact a swing. But every time it takes these big swings, it beats the ever-loving hell out of the alt market. Now, the alt market is correlated over to Ethereum. It is much closer running with Ethereum than it is running with Bitcoin. And Ethereum over the last few days has wildly outpaced Bitcoin. It's just one of those funny little things that we do out here. So I haven't changed my opinion on any of this because I'm absolutely right on all of it. If you want to just sit there and be safe, don't really care, sure, buy some Bitcoin and hope for the best. But you can either hope something happens or make something happen. DeFi is where you are making something happen. And Bitcoin and your top ones are hoping something happens. Man, I can't live in that world. I can't trust other people to make good decisions to help me. Or I just can't. I can't live like that. Not with my own finances, man. So I have to go out and do something to help myself. And there it is. I mean, that's it. So as far as the whole correlation with the Dow, babe, no. All right, these guys putting in big money, and they're going to take 0.5%, 1%, 2%. They don't believe in the ethos of Bitcoin, blockchain technology, none of those things. They're here to make a few bucks. They're going to extract it because now you got TradFi that's going to be extracting it as well as every other crypto investor and trader out here, as well as every validator that exists out here in the Cosmos ecosystem, as well as every other proof of stake that's going on out here. So there it is. Hope that answered the question. Just my opinion, but I'm absolutely right on this. I'm 100% right. Is there anything else, Belle, or can we actually move on and talk about movies and shit?
We can move on and talk about movies and shit.
Okay, I think that's more fun and a better way to kind of end this. So we just watched a movie called The Bunnyman Massacre. It's available over there on Omniflix if anybody would like to watch it behind us and listen to Bella and I talk shit over this. I think that one could have been better named 20 Ways to Kill Young Women. I think that would have been a more accurate definition of this one because I was a little bit shocked. I mean, I was a little bit shocked through this whole movie. I was like, Jesus, he just killed her with a drill press. I mean, as far as unique kills go, I hadn't seen that before. That was brand new to me.
Yeah, that one was a new one on me as well. And I was actually surprised. That one was a lot better than I gave it credit for.
You know, it started perfectly. It started wonderfully with a crazy guy in a bunny suit going onto a school bus with a chainsaw. How could he go wrong there? I mean, this is something that is not subtle. And by the way, guys, we're done with the crypto talk. If you have crypto questions, I'll answer them. But we're all done with the crypto talk now. We're kind of showing you which direction we're going to be going with this. And normally we would just play clips. We'll just play clips there on the big screen so that you can see what we're talking about and experience what we experienced. I'm fine with all of that. As long as we keep them under like 20 seconds, we won't even get copyright hits on them. So yay for us. But yeah, it started with that, and then which is not exactly a wicket for me. I like fast starts, and that one definitely hit it. But then we started getting into wickets because then we found the campers, and then we found the two people that were having sex in the tent. And I'll tell you what, the girl they got for that, she was glorious, Belle. She was glorious. Big fake boobs. I'm fine with that. It's a movie. But yeah, with the big fake boobs and her running and they're bouncing around and she's running from the guy in the bunny suit. That just hits so many wickets for me, Belle. Where you at with that? Don't make me do all the talking here. You like horror too.
You got on a roll with that one. I was just waiting on you to take a breath.
Okay, I'm taking a breath. Go, Belle.
No, that one. I mean, that one was hysterical. I mean, there were parts that had me dying. Like, okay, when the family pulled up to get their misspelled refreshments, that it's like, okay, yeah, kind of obvious what that jerky was made out of.
He was selling a beef jerky that he made himself. And it also
it wasn't beef.
No, it also glanced over to the skeleton with a little bit of meat that was still left on it, hanging up over the slaughterhouse area. So no, I had a real good idea what was in that beef jerky, Belle, and that's people. You're eating people. And he was making him a deal. If you buy 2 bags, you get 2 bags for free. It was
a total of 4 people in the car.
So they all got their own bag of people jerky. It was an interesting movie. I'm just going to kind of leave it there. But it was interesting enough that there's a Bunnyman 2 and I think a Bunnyman 3. So come this Saturday, Belle and I will be doing the Bunnyman Massacre Part 2. You might want to catch up with this. just watch it on Omniflix, man. It's you're gonna need some giggles on that, and we actually had some good lines on that one, so that worked out real good. But yeah, we're gonna be covering that on Saturday because I want to see what else they do. But as far as the kills go, there really were some good ones. You had your traditional, you had your machete, you had your chainsaw. Those are all fine.
We were making fun of the people though, because okay, blade awareness and blade maintenance.
Yeah.
Come on, sharpen your blade.
Yeah, you shouldn't have. It shouldn't take you 20 seconds sawing on a piece of rope to cut the piece of rope with your knife. And if it does, you kind of got a problem with that. But again, it was very unique. Now, at least 20 minutes of that stock footage could have ended up on the cutting room floor and made this movie a little bit more watchable, because for a slasher movie, it went almost an hour 40, and that's long for a slasher movie with no real plot. Now, the fun part is all the girls selling out all the other girls. That was hilarious, because that's all they had in there was girls, young college age girls that they captured, that they strung up, and that they were making a deal with. There was a really, really unique kill. I've never seen this before. I'm even going big screen, so I need you guys to envision this one, because this is what happened. Those big blue barrels that they put people in, pour in acid to melt them, a la like Breaking Bad. So he stuck the girl in there, and because she chose number 2. So he had 3 of them, picked number 1 to 10. They all picked, and she picked 2, so she was a victim. They went out there to the desert, which was funny because the sheriff came by, and the patches on his sleeve said Scott County, Iowa. His truck had California plates, and everything about that suggested it was made in Georgia. So there was a lot going on here as far as
I was throwing a fit about that.
As far as business. But they stuffed her in a big blue barrel, and they took screws and screwed a whole bunch of really long screws all the way through the barrel, all the way around it. Then they leaned it on the side, and then they pushed it down the hill. So it was sitting there bouncing and bouncing and bouncing all the way down the hill. And and then at the end, of course, they went and opened it up, and a bloody girl just came pouring out of that. But as far as unique, I've never seen that. I watch horror movies a lot. I'm a big fan of horror movies, and I've never seen that. So as far as really, really, really finding a unique way to kill a 20-something college girl, that was way up there. Belle, what do you think?
I mean, I saw that one coming as soon as she went in the barrel and he put the first one in. I'm sitting there going, okay, I know what they're doing here.
I did not. I had no idea. I couldn't even comprehend that. I was so far beyond it, man. I couldn't even comprehend that. But
the only reason I knew was because we created an effect that was very, very similar for the screen park I used to work at.
Yeah. Well, it worked. It was efficient, and I would not want to be the person in the barrel. I don't get it. All right. Here's my final issue with this movie. And it's worth a look. I'm just putting that out there, guys. It is definitely worth a look. But here was my final issue. Sorry, bourbon. It's kind of hit me a little bit. Here's my last little hang up on this. So they ran into the sheriff again. The sheriff came back, and there were 2 girls, survivors, and he said, "Okay, go ahead and get in my truck. It's right over there, and there's a pistol in the in the glove compartment. It's got 2 bullets in it. So if it doesn't work out with what I'm doing, go ahead and defend yourselves." So the sheriff goes marching off into the woods. The 2 girls climb into the truck, and apparently they find the pistol with 2 bullets. I would have to say, I have pistol in my truck, and it has a full magazine. Every pistol that I happen to have always has a full magazine. I can't think of any reason that I would only put 2 bullets in there and say, okay, that's it. That's my go-to. So I kind of had an issue with that part right there, and the other part is what actually happened. Now I'm not going to spoil that one, in case somebody wants to actually watch this. I'm not going to spoil the ending, but
Yeah, B-Bands is actually watching us on X, and she's going to rewatch the movie. And yeah, don't spoil it.
I'm not going to spoil it. You know what? Then I can't talk about any of this because all of this is spoilers. Everything I was going to talk about was spoilers.
We're being very generic right now.
Okay, we can kind of stay generic on this one then. Yeah, the issue I had is that when you have somebody dead to rights 5 feet away from you, there's no need to rush up to them to shoot them. You are literally from me to that monitor right there, and I promise you I'm going to hit. But for some reason, our heroine, who has clearly never, ever handled a firearm in her entire life, decided that she had to get up close enough to put it in his ear. And the bunny man, big bunny head, no peripheral vision, nothing, whatever, managed to sort out that she was there and dodged the bullet. So I had kind of an issue with that. He put the other girl down as she deserved because, come on. You're 2 feet from that. And then said heroine number 2 goes and recovers the pistol, runs towards the woods like she's going to get away. Bunny Man is coming after her. She has him from here again to where that camera is. And instead of shooting him with the final bullet, what did she do, Belle?
Oh, that made me so mad.
Yeah, what'd she do, Belle? Instead of pulling the trigger at 5 feet, this is a bunny costume, all right? It's not mithril armor. It's a bunny costume. So what did our heroine do? And this was the hot blonde, by the way. The only thing missing from that movie is we didn't get to see her boobies. I wanted to see, Belle wanted, we all wanted to see them, but we didn't get to see those. But what did said heroine do?
She pissed me off. That's what she did?
You're not going to tell him because B-Bands is gonna watch. You're not going to tell her what happens. It's a cliffhanger. That's it.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. Belle ain't going to say because that is. But I had a real problem.
I did the motion.
Okay.
Come
Yeah.
on.
She decided to. Yes. I wasn't looking. I was looking at the screen. Yeah. She decided to end herself instead of just shooting the guy that's 3 feet away from her. I don't know. Maybe she was just terrible. I get it. You know what? In a zombie apocalypse scenario, the very last bullet in my firearm is for me, or you, whoever happens to be there. If it's us, it's the last 2 bullets. I'll do you, and then I'll do myself, or vice versa. Whoever has ammo left. So I get that, but this is a guy in a puffy bunny costume, man. It's not Kevlar. It's not mithril. It's none of those things, and it will not stop a 9mm. The 9 is going to take care of business. I'm a 45 guy. I'm not a 9mm guy. But yeah, they couldn't do it. She couldn't do it. She was so traumatized by the entire event and everything that happened that she decided to pop herself. And I was very, very disappointed in that. Nobody, for some reason, the killer never gets smoked. I mean, we don't know. He's not Superman. We don't know. No idea. We know he's troubled. I mean, you don't slaughter a bus full of children with a chainsaw and be mentally stable. So I think we can both agree that he was a little bit troubled internally. But all in all, good movie. And we did get the sunset scene because the bunny man was the only survivor of all of this. Was the bunny man, and we got the sunset scene as he's walking into said sunset down the road all by himself carrying a chainsaw. So I'm very, very eager to see part 2 on this, Belle.
And I think they could go for a part 4, but they'd have to get in touch with Rob Zombie to make it happen because, good grief, I think the only way that would be more hilarious was if they could combine the bunny man with the cast of House of a Thousand Corpses.
Well, you're drifting into a very good horror movie now. You're not talking. You're talking about high budget horror versus low budget horror. You can't really make a lot of those comparisons. It was well shot.
Doesn't spend a lot on his horror movies. Are you kidding me?
I'm betting he spent more than $40,000. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say House of a Thousand Corpses. You know what, Belle? Google it. How much did it cost to make?
I'm going to do that.
How much did it cost to make House of a Thousand Corpses? And I'm saying $500,000. I'm saying it's $500,000 at least. Now that's not tremendous. Oh, you know what's funny? I forgot to ever even mention that. Who remembers the movie Porky's? All right, I was 13 years old when Porky's came out, so I very much remember the shower scene and oh God, Lassie. The gym teacher, the girl gym teacher Lassie, they made Porky's for $400,000. That was the total budget for the movie Porky's, and it is the most profitable movie ever made. From a cost to ROI, Porky's has been the most successful movie effectively ever made, based on what they spent compared to what they earned with it. Porky's, who would have thought it? And that was a wonderful movie, by the way. I don't know if you saw that, Belle. Have you ever seen Porky's?
I have not.
I'm sorry, what? You've never seen the movie Porky's?
No.
Oh,
not
my.
that I know of.
Anybody, audience, please help me out here. How could you have not seen Porky's, Belle? It's kind of a classic. Is it because you're a girl and it's more of a boy movie?
No, that has nothing to do with it.
Because one could make a similar argument about Animal House. That was kind of a boy movie as opposed to a girl movie.
I've seen Animal House.
But you haven't seen Porky's. I'm a little disappointed. Did you find the answer, Belle? How much did Rob Zombie pay to make House of a Thousand Corpses?
I have not found it yet. I'm looking, though.
Did anybody know? Did anybody pipe in here? Nobody.
Nobody has piped in.
Oh my goodness, I'm a little bit disappointed here. Well, while you're looking that up, Belle, I see a comment. The Final Destination series didn't exhaust all statistical ways to, I can't, unalive someone or film. I need to catch up. Yeah, I never saw any of those. I've never seen any of the Final Destination movies, but apparently that needs to be way up on my list. I'll go to Tubi, and if they're on Tubi after we exhaust all the Bunny Man, then maybe we'll do Final Destination. As long as it has over-the-top killing, I'm okay with that. Did you find it yet, Belle? Because I'm just about out of gas here.
I'm seriously looking. Yeah, okay. Okay, so it cost Rob Zombie a little more to get that one out to the public, but it was because the studio he took it to shelved it because they were thinking it was going to get an NC-17 rating and wouldn't move, and now it's earned over $40 million.
Easily. But it doesn't say how much he spent to make it.
No. He did run out of budget at one point. But
and Rob Zombie's doing okay. I mean, the guy is not living, paycheck to paycheck. So if he ran out of budget making it, that suggests to me that there was a lot of budget in that.
and B-Band's chiming in. Okay, how dare you know?
How dare I know which one? That I haven't seen Final Destination, or you haven't seen Porky's?
I think that's about me not seeing Porky's.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked at that one. Do you have any problem with female nudity?
I'm a Rennie. No.
Okay, then you're good for Porky's. We're not going to cover that on the horror stream because it's not a horror movie. But yeah, I'd be more than happy to sit there and watch that one with you because that is funny. That is just a funny movie. All right. Okay. Anyway, I seem like I feel like I'm kind of done talking, Belle, and it seems like the audience is kind of done listening. So if we have nothing else,
there's a whole list. We were supposed to be doing a back and forth of horror movies this
All right, then serve it up, Belle. Right now I'm kind of carrying this one. What's on your mind?
Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods. I thought the very premise of Cabin in the Woods was 100% fantastic. Very original, very unique. I hadn't seen anything like that. It had Sigourney Weaver, and you can't go wrong with Sigourney Weaver. And that Australian guy, what's his name? I forget his name. He played Thor. I think that was him. Was that him? I don't know the guy's name.
I think that was in the second one.
There wasn't a second one. There was only Cabin in the Woods.
No, there was a Cabin in the Woods too.
Then it was bad enough that I haven't seen it. Cabin in the Woods 1. The world ended in Cabin in the Woods 1. They did not complete the sacrifice. The gods came out of the earth and it destroyed the earth. How is there a fucking part two? How could there be a part two when part one had an awful lot of closure? That big hand reaching out of the earth. Did we not remember that part?
I remember that part very well.
Okay. No, I thought it was. I thought the premise of it was fantastic. It was unique. I love seeing the modern thing. I liked my man getting eaten by a mermaid. Or was it a mermaid? I think it was a mermaid. I thought that was fantastic. So yeah, I put it up there. It's for a one that actually had a budget. It did have a budget. I thought it was very enjoyable.
They start off with the classic, van full of people. You've got the stoner, you've got the nerd, you've got I mean, everything's there.
You got the jock douchebag. You got the hotties. You got the whore. You have the little shy girl that if we could just break her down, she's gonna have sex with everybody. Yeah, no, I mean it hit every single classical wicket of a horror movie. I thought it was great. It had redneck zombie people. That were killing people very, very unique way. No, I loved it. I thought it was an excellent movie. I'm trying to think of some of the later horror that I've watched. You know what? I'm going to go with Friday the 13th as the original. I'm going to go right there to Friday the 13th. If there's ever a single classic horror slasher movie, the founder of the feast that really got this thing going, I'm still going to go with Friday the 13th. It made, how many did they make? 10, 11, 12 of these, plus spin-offs, plus all that other good stuff. Jason.
I've lost count.
Jason is a proper killer. All right, he is a proper killer. Doesn't give a fuck. No mercy. Immortal. I mean, he is a proper killer and a proper way to take out young girls and people that happen to go camping near Crystal Lake. He is a 100%. That's the bar. That is always the bar in every single horror movie that I ever watch. I see, how does this stack up to Friday the 13th? If it's just a pure slasher, I will go Friday the 13th. I'll go Friday the 13th all day, every day, and I'll go Saw 1. I put that one in there for the psychological slasher element because we didn't get, you need more of that. I think it opens up the whole genre to what you can do and can't do. And as long as it's a movie, everybody's cool with it. I mean, Jesus, the guy gave you a hacksaw and said, okay, you can either chop through the thing or you're going to die or you can chop your foot off. That's a psychological element. And I think that's missing from a lot of different things. But I will put Saw 1 and Friday the 13th virtually against anything out there. Belle, where you at?
Oh, I would have to counter it. And I was small when this one came out. I should not have been allowed to watch this movie.
Okay.
This one came out in 1990 and featured a very, very it's one of those movies that you can tell the quality of the person from where they know Tim Curry from.
We talking it? It? Yep. Oh my God! I'm not going to give you that one. I mean, I'll give you the round of applause because it was a classic. But it gets into clowns. Now I'm okay with it. I like clowns. I like Funhouse Massacre. I like all of these other ones. Anything having to do with clowns because it seems to bother a lot of people. It seems to bother girls more than it bothers boys. But the very few Stephen King books translated well over into movies because they tried to turn it into something that it really wasn't. Christine is a very good, we can call it a horror movie, and it's a Stephen King book that translated wonderfully over to screen. Firestarter translated wonderfully. It was Sissy Spacek, translated wonderfully over to the screen. But most of his other stuff really sucks balls. It did not work. Maximum Overdrive, which is supposed to be kind of an action adventure horror movie, sucked immensely. I mean, that was fucking horrible. Based on a short story called Trucks by Stephen King. So anytime it gets brought up, and while I do appreciate it, Belle, I get it. That book was almost 1,000 pages long. It is very, very difficult to get all of the real substance into 90 minutes. It is incredibly hard.
That's why the Harry Potter films from 4 through the end sucked. I mean,
because there
that's
was too
exactly
much
why.
content to try to jam it in. And you need it in a horror movie. If you want to make it a psychological horror, it either has to be very, very easy to understand, Saw, or it has to be very, very in your face, Friday the 13th. So people
I was 7 when it came out.
I
Okay, give me a break on that one.
70 came out in 19 I was 19. I was 19, Bell, so I was already well aware of all of this stuff. I was in Japan at the time, so I didn't get to see it. And there was no real such thing as like VC there was no real such thing as there was no internet. It didn't exist yet. So if it didn't come to the theater on out at Yokosuka Naval Base, if it didn't come to the theater, I didn't see it. So I didn't get a chance to see that till later. But I'm going to stick with that. There's too much content to jam into 90 minutes. And if you make it 3.5 hours, you just made the 10 Commandments. Nobody's going to stick around. It's like trying to watch The Irishman. Did you watch The Irishman? Great movie. But by the time that movie, and I'm going to steal from Ricky Gervais here, Leonardo DiCaprio went to the screening of The Irishman, and by the time it was done, his girlfriend was too old for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's too much to jam in. So you have to break it into lots of different bits and pieces of it, like they're doing with Dune, like they did with Dune, or it's just going to get, a lot of it's going to get missed. And a lot of that particular one got missed. Now, I love Tim Curry. You know I'm a fan. But, yeah, it didn't do it for me the way it did. Let me ask you this, Belle. Did you ever read the book? Did you ever read the book? And it's 1,000 pages. You would remember.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. So it would work with anybody who hasn't read the book. It's a workable movie. But for anybody who has, there was so much that was left out. It felt very, very compressed. It was like trying to watch Dune. That was it. It was like trying to watch the original, 1982 or 84 feature-length Dune. There was so much that was left out of there. It was real hard to track. It was great if you hadn't read any of the Dune books, but I've read the Dune books. So I was like, okay, you left out fucking everything. And they did the same thing. They left out everything.
They did the same freaking thing with any Hannibal Lecter movie.
Agreed. I'm not arguing that.
Ironically, yeah, Silence of the Lambs is on the list of one of the best rated horror movies of all time. I've never really considered that one a horror movie. I would have considered that one a drama.
I don't know. I love Buffalo Bill, though. I love that actor that did it. There are a couple of scenes when he's out there, oh, I'd fuck me. That was great. And wait. Was she a great big fat person? I love that line. I was just like, yay, she is a big. Yeah, sure, she's. And then Jodie Foster. Yeah, sure, she's a big girl. She was a big girl. I love that. And I'm sorry, but I'll never get past it because I still use that line today. It puts the lotion in the basket. It puts the lotion. Put the lotion in the goddamn basket. I'll never get past that. I mean, I'm sorry. That was.
Elsa gets the hose again.
Elsa gets the hose again. I still use that. I use that with my kid. It gets out of bed, or it gets dressed, or Elsa gets the hose. I still use that with my kid. So no, I understand. I wouldn't call that horror. It's psychological thriller, but I wouldn't say that it's a horror.
I agree. That's why those lists are wrong. I mean, that's a whole category on its own.
But it has some very, very quotable lines. That goes a long way with me, particularly as somebody who hosts a podcast.
A lot of those quotable lines were ad-libbed.
I believe, yes.
Seriously, Anthony Hopkins would... The line with the fava beans and the nice Chianti, that was off the cuff.
Yeah,
that was not scripted. And
that was popular enough line that it showed up in Dumb and Dumber. It showed up in Dumb and Dumber. Belle, come on. I'd eat her liver with some farmer beans and a nice butt of Chianti. Those are really, really good lines. So. I'm trying to think of something that really, really stands out to me as far as horror. Anything that I watched when I was young, sticks to me and resonates better with me than modern horror. Modern horror, I don't know if I'm getting jaded, but I'm sitting there judging cinematography, story, all that other stuff, and not just accepting slashers the way that they were intended to be. Just you watch it, it's a fun movie, and you do your thing. So I've skipped over a lot of those, but there were some very old movies, Bell. I won't even ask you if you've seen them, because if they came out in the 70s, I don't think you were alive yet. So odds are good that you haven't seen them because you're just a little girl. But I remember one of the things that wrecked me forever and ever was an old, very old movie called Phantasm. Have you ever seen the movie Phantasm?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
All right. We're going to have to cover Phantasm on Omniflix because that one will really, really wreck me because I saw it when I was still single digit years old. I don't know why my parents let me watch that, but they let me watch it. And that thing wrecked me. I mean, absolutely wrecked. I'm 53 years old and I'm still terrified of that fucking movie because of what happened when I was very, very young, that I was, that I was allowed to watch something like that. So we're going to have to cover Phantasm one of these days. It's a classic. It is absolutely a cult movie. It is right up my alley. I'm not sure if I can talk shit about that one because I got a hunch I'll be biting my nails through the entire thing. But maybe that's something that we need. Maybe that's something that we need to really change up the show, Belle. What do you think?
What? I don't think anybody has had the chance to see Scott Unsettled. I think people would be all over that one. So yeah, let's try to find a horror movie that rattles you.
I guarantee if you go to Tubi and you look up Phantasm, that's the one that'll rattle me. I don't remember. I've built it up so much in my head because I saw it when I was so young and I didn't see it again. So I've never actually watched it again as an older man to try to get closure on that. I've never done it. Maybe that's something that needs to happen there, Belle. But yeah, as far as really, really wrecking you, Phantasm. That one's way up the list of something that is as far as story driven, shock line, shock horror, all the stuff that they had to do before special effects were really that special. So maybe we got to throw that one in.
We need to throw in Secret Window too. That one is a complete mind fuck of a movie.
Was that Johnny Depp one?
It is the Johnny Depp one, yeah.
I can never see him but anything but like his role in 21 Jump Street. If you guys remember way back in the day when before Johnny Depp was the great Johnny Depp character actor, I just remember him from 21 Jump Street. So I might struggle with that one, but sure, I'll certainly watch it.
He's a very, very versatile actor.
And guys, of course, we will take recommendations on what horror movies that we cover. That's the whole idea. As much as it's self-indulgent for myself and Belle, we also want to build an audience around that stuff. So, of course, we will take recommendations. If you have something that we haven't seen, please recommend it. Put it in the comments. You can catch it after the fact. Anybody who watches the replay here, put it in the comments, and we will certainly consider it. And if you are the only person who put one in the comments, odds are good we're going to do it because we aim to please. So anyway, do we got anything else, Belle? Or I'm starting to get nasally. I can feel it.
Yeah, I can hear it. And no, we don't have anything else.
I told you, Belle, as soon as we stop doing crypto, people will stop watching. That's just it. They want crypto insights on this channel and from us. So it's a whole new audience that we're going to have to reach on the other side. But I got nothing but time and patience. So something tells me that's going to happen anyway. But guys, appreciate you. Whoever stuck around this long, thank you for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow night. It'll be a crypto stream and we'll give lots of insight. And this is the way we see it. Yeah. Just know that my heart's not really in a lot of this, but I'm a professional, so I'm still going to put on a good show for you. But until that night comes along, the mighty, the one, the only, the original, the mighty Belle is going to talk us up, take us out of here. Go ahead and do your thing, Belle.
All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who joined us this evening, we cannot say thank you guys enough. We do appreciate each and every one of you guys and the comments and questions you send our way. Again, we are going to be back on tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. In between now and tomorrow night, if you guys have any other comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to either Scott or myself. Scott at ThePodocasts.com or Bella at ThePodocasts.com, and we'll get those answered for you. Again, we can't thank you enough, guys, and we'll see you next time.
We are dropping new videos and podcasts every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And be sure to look for us on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler at ThePodocasts. Also, visit our page at ThePodocasts.com, all one word, for all of our most current content.